Peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Salute, salute. Peace and power to the people that struggle. As you can see, it's about, should be about 10, I don't know. It's been a very long day, a lot of activities, a lot that I had to do and get done. And of course, you seen earlier what took place with the comrade. If you didn't, go back and catch it on the replay. Peace and power to everybody. T seem to be the first and always the first moderator in the spot. So make sure the green screen is up because it is active. It is active. There was a few points I need clarity on as I watch the replay and saw a few questions in the comments that need clarification on. You dig? Yeah, get the green screen popping. Definitely. One, and I'm not sure why people had such a difficult time hearing. I don't know if I was no, because when I listened to it, I know exactly what I said, and I heard it in the playback, in the replay. AZ, rapper AZ, from my knowledge, never had an issue with Guru, right? Never. And that's not what I said. I said one of the executives who was the A&R, right? The A&R of AZ's project, as well as other projects, well-known projects, had an issue or issues with Keith Guru Elam, right? Guru of Gangstar fame, and may he sleep in eternal peace. So again, to be specific, I do not know if there was an issue with but that's not what I said. If they had an issue later on when I wasn't around, I don't know. Again, a lot of these MCs are very fickle, conceited, arrogant and selfish, and can be very passive aggressive, you know. It's you dig? It, you know, it is something, you know, that is prevalent among them. Very prevalent among them, you know, to be of a specific talent. You have to have a certain ego, a certain type of narcissism, because you are believing things. You dig? You're believing things about yourself. You're believing things about others. And those beliefs, if they're not balanced with a specific personality, a specific calm, a specific wanting to give back, you dig? it is going to be problematic, not for them, but for people who consider themselves fans, associates, family. And the more notoriety, the more fame, the more they're in the public eye, it gets worse. Some, it gets worse because, in all fairness, people do overstep their boundaries when it comes to seeing a celeb, witnessing, right? Coming in close proximity and contact. And it can become overbearing. I've been around those situations. I've been in situations where I've actually stood with a particular rapper, and there was so many people and children around that I had to leave. I literally had to walk away. It was just too much. It's like, no, I'm not standing in this. You know. So if you're not right, if you are not grounded and connected to something that keeps you humble, you understand? Salute, Manly. Much love to you, Karim. You're a highly astute man. You guys, you blow you up more than you are. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So, I was saying, if you are, not balanced and not in a position where you have a goal, and that's to give back, you will become tainted. And it also creates a space where people become, resentful when they don't get that attention from the people as well. All right. So that point needed to be clarified. I need to be very specific with that point. Very specific and targeted. Like I said, it wasn't A that I know. I'm telling you, and I said it was the record executive, the A&R, who, if you want to do the homework on, if you want to, again, fall into the realms of the spooky and the connections and the 6 degrees of separation, this executive, Lindsey Williams, is very close with Russell Simmons, and they are very close as a group of friends with Bill Stephanie, who also ran an independent label. So when these ties are created, these layers, these levels, it is very difficult for anybody to come from the outside of those sets, those groups, those micro societies, and break through, especially without being initiated into these sets. So you can go to one and fall out of favor with one, and once he says the word, you fall out of favor with so many others, because these executives do business together. These executives know each other projects. These executives teach each other how to beat the artist, how to take as much away from the talent as possible. So if you're on the other side of that and you get to peek in on it, they become very wary of you and begin the process of pushing you out. So the only way you can remain inside is if the artist himself holds you down and make you an intricate part of their life. Right? Like you see with Spliff Star and Buster, like you see with Jay and Tata, right? Like you see with certain individuals. who cling and keep an individuals there for the duration is very rare, but it happens. But on the flip side of it, if these are individuals who come from larger communities and have larger groups around them, and it's really the group, the community that's pushing and saying, here, you go in this industry and represent us. It gets different when you're trying to navigate that and you're not the toughest dude. You're not the most intelligent dude. You're not the most courageous dude. Now money comes into play. Now opportunity comes into play. Now the fangs show, the wolves is out. It's hard to navigate all of that, especially if the income is not coming to your pockets and you're getting molested in the industry, you're getting beat in the industry, you're getting cheated. It's difficult for them dudes to navigate that because contrary to what you see in the videos, contrary to what you see and back then, which were still photos and magazines and people posturing and dudes looking tough, and they not that. They were never that. Never. They were never built like that. Those individuals who were built like that came much later. Much later. About 90, 91, 92, 93. These dudes wasn't that. Those dudes that was built like that, built for tough, those dudes was in the projects. Those dudes was out of town. They want nothing to do with the rap industry. They was getting more money daily than any of them. They didn't want that. That's why the individuals who jumped in at an executive level, who were already in the street and getting that paper, were able to do so because they could either withstand the drought of coming up out of the streets and putting their investments elsewhere, or they still was able through either intelligence or strength to keep a tie on the street and let that money come through and be used, not weaponized against your own people in the community, but used to get into this industry. And those wasn't the rappers. They just wasn't. They wasn't. The first one who I could say and that I witnessed and seen was P. Master P had to be the first, one of the first. And I'm not a historian of New Orleans and Louisiana, so I don't know if he ever bust his hammer or not. But from what I saw, how he conducted himself, how he moved, how he was respected amongst his own, and never had that part questioned, I have to make that educated guess and say he was real. But when I'm talking about 5 boroughs, New York City, the mecca of hip hop, where these A-list, where these B-list, where these top 5, top 10 greatest come from. They was boots, they ass. There's not one of them that you could ever question me about. And I'm going to give you a different answer. Not built like that on the streets at all. At all. You can never find somebody in any of their hoods and say that that individual beat them up. You're not going to find it. You're not going to, even in their jail beds, they little stints. None of them dudes did it. None of them. Now, afterwards, again, when you start to hit that G unit era, when you start hit, these are the youngins that were graduated in the streets and had the benefit of being creative and being in the street and made that transition. That's later years all the way up until now, where you get these actual dudes who are the the MC, right? The label owner, young and vibrant, that's still throwing his thing, that's letting it go. You see how long it took us to get to there? So now you have, yeah, you bust your hammer. Yeah, you that dude, but you're foolish. You're not a thinker. And it's not that you're getting to the bag. The system itself is already established. So all you're doing is just jumping in. Your predecessors had to create this. They had to take the knocks. They had to get beat for all their publishing. They had to get beat for their merch. These are the ones who had to struggle, who got kicked in and out of the whip. But sadly, these are the individuals that I'm talking about that want to come through and lie and deceive the people and jump into these spaces here where they acting as if they're giving you the information. They're not giving you the information that's going to get you in this space and become profitable. They're making an attempt to say that they're real, that they the dudes, and they not. None, not one of them. And that's what does the harm. That's like dudes is coming through and seeing Sharpton, Al Rat Sharpton, and saying he gonna lead us to the promised land. Yeah, he's radical. He's radical like the Panthers. And nobody checking it. That's the same amount of danger that is there for our children to suffer through if we don't start getting more clarity on who these individuals are, who they are. You don't get tough at 40. You don't get tough at 45. These dudes wasn't doing none of that shit. Then you got some with ball players. You had some of them that were straight soldiers on the straight doges. All they did on the street was go to the store for a dude, take a pack out of town for a dude, sit in a spot for a dude. And that is where they got their experience and vision. These dudes wasn't kicking no doors down. These dudes wasn't going in there and taking nothing from no connects. Don't y'all believe that shit? Y'all better backtrack, or you can't even backtrack and get on Google or these search engines because they wiping shit clean. They giving dudes fake year births and all that shit. That's why I'm here. I'm telling you. None of these dudes was tough at all. And they are adding on this extra layer of fantasy by grouping up and holding each other nuts in the sphere of social media to congratulate themselves for nothing. They behind a banker's nutsack. That's what they do. And everything relies on that. Everything. Get the green screen popping, T. Make sure that's in effect. Because that has to, again, that changes as well. It's gonna be, much more tighter. on that, much more tighter on that, because I work. No, I work for a living every day. I work for our people in the community. I meet them right where they at. You got these dudes that's just coming through. Vitamin Des, salute for the green screen. Got these dudes that's coming through and they're being supported by corporations, and I'm hoping y'all see that. When you see these people, and it seems that they have enormous amount of resource, all of a sudden start doing things that they wasn't doing. Yet they don't have a product, they don't have a day job, they're not providing a service. So where they getting it from? Where do you think they're getting it from? They're in bed with the bankers, they're in bed with these same individuals that Ye is crying about. Same individuals. These dudes is in bed with them. They don't even have those home those home improvement shows anymore, because what people had come to find out is that the people couldn't maintain those homes. The electricity bill was high, gas bill was high, taxes was high, property taxes climbed. They couldn't afford those homes, so many of them had to give them back or leave. Fronting for TV, capping, were the companies. All the corporations was involved just to promote their stuff. So when you see rappers talking about we giving away cars, we refurnishing homes, we building homes, what do you think that is? This is corporations doing that. It's not them. They don't have it. But yet they're directing, they have the attention. And to each his own. I understand some people struggle. I understand you got beat for your publishing. I understand you got beat out of whatever the industry promised you to do. So now you found a way in. More power to you. But we can't deal with storylines and half truths when it comes to this. Because the more people that get inserted into this space, the space where we're dialoguing, the space where we have attention of our people who really need information and solutions, and you have others that are grab assing, playing, dancing, getting high, doing all this weird shit, it's detrimental to our growth. Very detrimental to our growth. So I wanted that clarified. So let it be known, nah, it was the executive who had an issue with Google. And again, at the time, I was in so many different sets because my work was respected that people didn't know who I was dealing with. They would see me in a spot believing I was with someone else rather than who I was with. And I'd be sliding through and in the cuts. And I'll have several teams in one location. Because the thing is that the rap dudes felt encouraged and safe as long as they could look over and see you. And sometimes the dudes who they had if you was part of another set from another borough, the dudes that they had with them felt safe because they saw me in the spot. So it's not no play with me when it comes to this shit. Ain't no play. It's not a brag. It's not a bigging up your chest. It's just a fact. It's who I am, what I'm built for, how I moved. So when I keep seeing people and storytelling, you're lying and misrepresenting not only who you are, but what the industry is. That's it. Gloves off. They off. Because we're dealing with some foul individuals. And they don't have nothing to do with some secret set, some outside of that. They just foul. They're nasty, they're selfish, and they don't have you to think about. Also, someone was confused about BBD for whatever reason. I don't know why they was confused about that. BBD was only a reference to me coming home from Germany, from being in the service and having an immediate direct line to somebody who was at that time on the upper echelons of the industry because they came from a legendary multi-platinum selling group and now themselves tasting fame and and exposure. I was right in it. You dig? It's not like again, historically, I've always been around the greatest. The greatest. From the Fat Boys, the Stetsasonic, always been around that. Right in that pocket. And we go back to the T-Funk Bad Boy days. In that element, always. No T-Funk, may rest his soul, Busy Bee. You dig? Red Bandit, who another one who had assistance through that BBD lane. It was just who we were from East New York. We had everything there. We had the Carl Canado right there. So we was never in a space where we coming through as some bum ass dudes that's begging to get in locations or can't get to locations. When the dudes is performing, all we got to do is get there half the time and we in the spot. So I don't care if we was doing a Black Music Expo way out in South Jersey or at Howard or anywhere else. In VA, in Hampton, in Norfolk, but all my little youngins was all in that area. They was the ones in the bowling alley fighting with Iverson. We always, that's just who East New York is. That's just how we move. So that was the point of reference. I'm just showing you that when I touched and was right in the mix of greatness. And having to have an ear and eyes to watch and to see. But when they close certain doors and pull down the drapes, it's but only so much you can do. And at that point, you have to rely on the artist to bring back information to show you how to get on, to show you how to get in. If they're not doing that, what can you do? You have to again try to figure it out. And that's why that is the worst. It is the worst place to be in. And several people did it. 99.9% of rappers, MCs, whatever you want to call it, from New York City, they did it. They do it. They think of themselves, which they should, their families, which they should, their immediate circle sometimes. After that, you done. You're done. No, I didn't meet J. Rule. J. Rule came out when I was doing that dime. And when I came and touched, he was already finished. As I said many times, I was that within that decade, we're talking about, I seen dudes get on, go to A-list, platinum and all that. So when I'm in the street, these dudes is on the train, on the bus, twisted. Whole career gone. Watch that. Ja Rule was gone. Nelly gone. Top dudes. So all the mid-level artists and stuff, nothing. Yeah, he's from my area. And from the camp, like I said. And he was out of the way by the time I touched. I touched in 2004. A lot of dudes was awash. They was finished because the industry shifted. Remember, they took out vinyl, cassette CDs. By the time I touched, Fannin had already did file sharing and all that. Was 99, 2000, 2001. I come home in 04. It's a whole different lane. The DVD era is out and all that. So dudes is twisted. If you didn't make that transition, if you didn't have something hot, if you wasn't A-list, you was done. You was a dub. It's finished. I was in Source magazine, the Gangstar issue, modeling. I was in it. Came home, the magazine was a wrap. Done off. Things was popping up. That's what hip hop does. You pop up, something pop up. It's a lane for it. It blows up. If you know how to manage the resources, you good. If you squander it, you squander it. You're looking crazy in these streets. But see, people still hold animosities in their heart. They still hold on to shit. Like I say, I don't know these individuals. These individuals I knew. We 20 years removed from that. But when dudes are still in it, they in it. That's why you still got soldier done dudes. Dudes still going to the store for nigga. You 44. You still going to the store for this nigga? Cause they trapped in that shit. Dudes still hustling. Dudes still buying beers and all type of dumb shit. You stuck. You stagnant. And the world passing you. Time is passing you. Time is passing you. Y'all niggas still dancing on stage. You still a soldier nigga. You still a behind the scenes dude for this clown. And he can't even afford a lawyer to do forensic accounting so he could get his publishing from these weirdos. But again, dudes think and hope and wish that I wasn't like this, presentable, articulate. They thought I would come home and go right back. So how do you keep that around you when you can't afford it? You can only hope that he's official, that he's as real as he is, to make sure that little foul shit that you was doing is kept. Shh. But his gloves off, because now y'all creeping. They creeping into spaces where they can keep their bullshit going. And you're not gonna lie to the kids. Not mine, you can lie to yours, but if they listen to me, you know who I'm talking about, they could tell kind of foul shit they pops is on. Come on, man. Come on, man. I get it. I get it. Trust and believe. So when we always talking about the whip, and people are, well, why? What are you? Why are you not in the whip? Why are you not here? Why are you not there? Because you get pushed out. I'm not a billionaire. If they could push a billionaire out, who am I? Who am I? I no longer do what I used to do to that degree. I work for everything I get in order to give back. I'm not that dude that was going and taking 3, 4. Nah, take it. Any given time, you run up in something and take 30, 40,000. No, that ain't, no. And it's fearful of putting you in a position where you're going to learn about them through their lack of business and their lack of courage to go get what's rightfully theirs. How can they have you around? You got to get out of the whip. But it's nothing that I've done. I do nothing to nobody. So when these dudes stop calling, you know, I don't call nobody. I don't hear from you in a week. That's it. I don't hear from you. Thinking you dead or locked up. Fuck, I look like chasing a dude. Oh, fuck, yeah, all right, we was cool. We must not be cool no more. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I see you when I see you. And I'm not even going to question. I'm not in the whip. Why? Too much integrity. Too gangster for the shit. Too intelligent. I tell you, all of them, my number don't change. Family purposes, business purposes. If you got my 7 digits, you got them. They don't change. So when ugod don't call no more, when meth don't call no more, when A don't call no more, when Akinelli don't call no more, when none of these niggas don't call no more, that's on them. It don't have nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Because I'm going to always be me. I only get better. As I said, it's not only me. There's 1,000 me all over. All over. Dudes, some stay in that space where they're going to continuously get mistreated. Hoping that these dudes come around one day. And they not. They're going to come around because that's how they are. They bitch made. They're not coming around. They selfish. Half of them don't take care of their fucking kids. That's how they are. Because they getting their mind washed by these bankers. They getting their mind washed and everything else washed by these by this lifestyle, by this system, by these people. They ain't coming around. Homie, you better find you something to do. Find you a way, get some training, build yourself, because they don't come around. They trapped in it. They trapped in it. They can't get out. They can't get out. Because they never had shit but that. Most of them dudes is 50, they don't have a GED. Do your research. You don't see no cap and gown graduation pictures for them dudes. None of that shit. But y'all believe that if they've been in the industry this long, they must be sharp, they must know some shit. Play the position that them Euros tell them to play. And if the position is shut up and make sure money and my people eat, they do that. If the position is bend your ass over, they do that. If the position is having a Euro between their knees, letting the Euro dome them in these record company offices or studios, that's their position. Keeping it a buck. You tell me how many people you know can survive into their 40s and 50s on the street with no GED. I'll wait. I'll wait. So that's a clarity piece. That's a clarity piece. You dig? Ain't none of them self-made. Rakim, none of them self-made because the industry itself was here before they got on. They used the industry. You're not self-made. You're not. Shit was already here. Somebody tapped them on the shoulder and let them in. And that's just what I wanted to get cleared up. You know, and, you know, if anybody, you know, had any questions, hit that green screen. Because this is going to be my temperament from here on out. Clarity. Clarity. You dig? Clarity. It's a lot of excuses that can be given to me to why dudes stepped away. Dudes, I done heard all type of shit from other individuals because you gotta understand it's tight. So you got managers, you got agents, you got promoters, you got security dudes who whisper in your ear, yo, son, this is word. Oh, okay. I done heard it all. I done heard it all. Excuse me. Well, one thing is for certain, you ain't saving my life. You can't. You can't. I've been knocking Neros down since I was 15, 16 years old. That's one thing that I have over a lot of people. I don't think twice about them. I'll bleed their ass out. You ain't saving me from shit. None of y'all could ever say that. Well, you can say that you might have thought something, you felt the ways because it's the bullshit in your heart. It was bullshit in your heart. And you know if I would have seen it, what would have happened to you? That's why people spread out. You won't ever treat me like a soldier, nigga. Never that. So they decide to spread out. But they pay other individuals. They keep bitch ass dudes around them. They pay them. And you call them dudes managers and shit like that. That's my manager. That's my manager. Why? Oh, he got relationships. Relationships. If you, the celebrity, anybody can manage you. You the one they need the relationship with. So when you walking around and people offering you things, all you doing is saying, yo, talk to my manager, talk to my manager. So why your peoples couldn't be your manager? And y'all school them on the game. Roach, what up? Salute. Much appreciated. Because you sparked a fire in me with the last bill and brought clarity to a lot of things that I had in my head. You dig? That's what you done. You unleashed it. Because I was in those positions. And my whole thing is, when it comes to what you went through, I feel a ways about it. Because I always been a team player and was always looking for a home. Because again, I had no brothers. My older brothers were the dudes in my building that brought me through the street. So I always was a team player, needed space to fit in. And when I was navigating the industry on my own, trying to push the envelope, trying to make sure dudes got paid and they wasn't being honest. And to see somebody go through that shit you went through, no, I was on the wrong team. The wrong teams. All they had to do was point and say, go, and I was on them. And they would have got everything that they were supposed to get. Well, I know that feeling. I know what it's like when somebody's disloyal. I know what that shit like. And that gave me clarity because I always asked, dude, yo, son, let me see your contract. And as I said earlier on Outspoken, in 2022, going into 23, with all of the search engines, with all of these lives, not one rapper has ever showed his contract. Not one. You don't see it because it will show you just how much of a bitch they are. That they would let some little punk behind a desk tell them when they gonna feed their kids, what they gotta do in order to sleep with their wife, or they chick. Now you gotta go on tour here. Now y'all gotta hit the road. That's worse than slavery. Y'all laugh at that shit. When Kanye said slave, when Prince wrote slave, y'all let them punks, and these dudes is punks. Telling you. I seen it my own eyes. Dudes is in Burt Patel office. You go through there, you think you at the BET Awards or the Grammys, sitting in line, waiting to get a check. From that moment, I knew something was. I was like, hold on, all these dudes with different labels, different acts. Oh, y'all got the same accountant? I could just lay here and wait till y'all get a check and lay one of y'all down. That's what this is. What's going on? But the outside don't know that. And when some of these rappers start spitting some of these truths out, the industry know. Like, hold up, what? What he said? Dudes is bitches. Don't y'all dare give these niggas no props. Y'all get online and y'all argue and debate about who's real, who's not. Y'all beef to each other about these niggas who are cowards. No way in hell you gonna sign a piece of paper and go into business with somebody you don't know where they live. You don't know their address. You don't know shit. You don't even know if that's their real name. And you signing away your rights, your publishing, your this, your that, your marketing, everything. You can't even get at this dude. Peace, G. You know what happened to Source Money? I know what I need to know about Source Money because one of my OGs was very close with Source Money, my OG Sharif, one of the first guard bodies that, you know, was around the way, spit knowledge of self, who, you know, back when dudes wasn't getting shot, got shot in his face and survived it. That was one of Source's right hands. So whatever he told me, I know. Like I said, I know a whole lot. I don't put it out there like that. I just don't. And we're in a space now where dudes don't respect that. They just don't. And when you vocalize it, like things like all these other bitch ass dudes running around with platforms and divulging shit, chattering and gossiping like bitches, they can do all that. But you expect the dudes that was really there to hold it down. Like I told you, you got dudes like that that's in the streets, twisted, don't even know how they got there. Like, yo, I used to be with such and such, and people like, what? Yeah, I used to be this and be that. They on the streets fucked up. Substance abuse, homelessness, 2 and 3 beds in them, twisted. And they used to be with that, and these niggas left them there. That's how they give it up. That's how they give it up. Not saying, yo, son, listen, nah, yo, they beat me on this, but this is what we can do. I can show you, yo, follow this dude, learn how to go get publishing, go get my shit. Sincerely yours. Damn, I'm stuck on the manager statement you made. You gotta hate him, Roach. I'm telling you, 1988, 89, 90. I'm overseas in Germany, in the army, in Frankfurt. Dudes is coming and doing shows. My mind is blown because I'm homesick. I'm like, they can come over here and do shows? I'm still trying to explain what hip hop is. Do you know that? Run DMC, my Adidas was 83. From 83 to 88, I'm still explaining what hip hop is. They still explaining what it is. So I'm blown that Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 coming to Frankfurt. Big Daddy Kane coming to Frankfurt. You know what I'm saying? You seeing, well, these groups is coming to they coming to Germany to perform? No radio play, no nothing. I'm like, wow. So I wonder, do they know that they CDs is selling in the PX? On bass? Who was counting those tapes? Official CDs, official cassettes. But who's counting that? It's not coming up in Billboard. Who's taking account of that? So if they doing that, then they got to be getting performance rights. So I'm bugging like, damn, it's mad money over here. What's going on? And then when it's again, shit starts changing. Dudes is getting global. People starting to recognize it as a true genre of music, and then it takes over. So after the torn the army in the first bid, where I took care of ugod, because he was stressed out, and now in hindsight, I know, oh, he got a mental issue. He's a little, oh, okay, now I know, but then I didn't. So it's two things you can't have when you're in jail. You can't have a mental issue, and you can't have a sensitive heart. So when shit is going on and shit is popping off in the town, and he can't get to meth to hold him down, and the letters is coming and he calling the block, I'm like, nah, son, don't worry about that. You got to worry about this jail shit. When you get home, you can take care of it. So we get home in 92. Protect Your Neck pops off. I didn't even know he could spit. I didn't know that was them. I heard them on Stretch Armstrong and Bobito's show. I call him like, yo, son, there's about 8 niggas on this song. They killing it. Yo, word, yo. I said, yeah. And they he came to the crib. Came to East New York. Yo, what up? I said, yo, son, you ain't hear that shit last night? He said, and I'm telling you, these are his exact words. That was us. I'm like, us? Who's us? I only knew him. I didn't even meet Meth yet. Nah, that was us. Who's us? I said, all I heard was 8 dudes. Some dude talking about he's Spider-Man. Nah, that's us. Who's us? Nah, it's me and my crew. We Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. I was like, whoa, what is that? I said, stop playing. He's like, yo, I'm dead serious. You want to meet them? All right, come on. Took me out right to Parkhill. Took me to Tajay. Took me Parkhill. First two I meet was Meth and Deck. Right there. And the only thing that made me believe him was that they used to call each other by spitting their verses in slow motion at each other. They thought this shit was funny. And I was like, oh shit, that really is that kid. And then I saw Ray. And I seen Jizza that night. Didn't meet nobody else. And then Meth is coming. And then they start coming out the way more and more. And I'm going back and forth. And I meet everybody else. But, you know, I think, okay, that's them. They didn't know what they had. They didn't know what they had. They still pitching in the street, doing country shit for me, because we's in Brooklyn. They out there, they running up on cars pitching. I'm like, yo, what is y'all doing? Y'all getting ready to blow. Nobody believed from Protect Your Neck that they was going to do that but me, because I knew. You mix Kung Fu, you mix that production, you mix different dudes with different styles and jewels, you're going to blow. This is what the industry was waiting for. I said, son, what y'all doing? Literally, dirty and I'm running, still pitching. I knew what they had, but I'm not going to, no, that's my peoples. I got peoples in the industry before. That ain't shit. I know what that shit is. There ain't no groupie. I'm me. You my man before anything. I'm holding you down before anything, and anything that transpired out there, that's what I became known as to the rest of them dudes. Yo, whenever you in the jam, this guy shows up. Who is he? Who is he? And then I meet Ray, who is a cousin of one of my day ones who passed. Sleep in peace, big dude. Daba Chief. Sleep in peace, Daba Chief. Sleep in peace. And then from him also co-signing my work. Dudes know I'm not nothing to play with, but I'm holding you down. Fuck this group shit. Yeah, it's all fun and games, no doubt. But my man is first. My loyalty to my dude is first. So as long as he's telling me to be easy, I got to be easy. And I went for him. I went for AZ. I went for Fat Gary. I went for any of these dudes in the industry. What you need. So if you really in a bind, if you saying this dude got your whole income by the balls, why you don't let me do my thing? Where's your contract? If he really owe you, let's get this money. So you see, I've been there, kid. I know what that shit like. I've seen dudes come in the mountains like that. It ain't just me, many of us. I've raised, damn near raised Shamik. Shamik is from Left Rack and Red to this day. Nori and them worship Shamik. Nas and them. Shamik got damn near half of the projects in East Elmhurst. Oh, that's my little dude. Came up under my little cousins in them. And he tries to remain loyal to that shit. He's another one to this day. They supposed to be giving this dude any and everything. Because without him navigating the way he navigated, they couldn't be in certain spaces. But yeah, y'all could throw $400,000 or $500,000 at broads in a club. And he got to navigate how he navigates. This is how foul these niggas are. So when y'all be talking about these dudes, I get triggered. Because I know that they ain't about shit. These dudes is girls. And they'll go run right to them euros, right to them bankers. And say, yo, him. Him said, we can't get no milk and cookies. That's how your favorite rappers act. Him said, we can't get no milk and cookies. They bitches. But y'all think they somebody. Seen them leave dudes in jail. You can't get nothing from these dudes. Nothing. Broken fucking promises. Broken promises. And they wait till a dude get old and slip. And they wait till a dude get washed. Or move away. Or they get in position where the euros envelope them. Envelope them. Like, nah, we got it. He's who? And they throw Fed bids on dudes. They throw state bids on dudes. Seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. They throw bids. And man, that shit be missiles be coming right from a rapper. It's just crazy amplified now because these dudes is just in different spaces. And these spaces ain't spiritually spooky powerful. They just secretive. And they work with federal agencies. Listen, man, you can sleep with police by their side. They pop up with dudes. You be like, who these dudes? You never seen them before. They police. Like dudes that don't have no allegiances to no set, no ties to nothing in the street. Fuck they around. Why? How you think the NOI got pushed out of the industry? They was security for every major event, for every major artist. He was getting paid. Artists got them up out of there. When they got the NOI up out of there, they inserted police. Police from overseas, and you know which ones I'm talking about. Bankers police. I dare you. I'll be daring y'all to be talking about, yo, this dude, this dude, these dudes is not. You appreciate their creativity, what they did on a cultural aspect, and that's it. Personally, these niggas is punks. So it is what it is. It is what it is. At this point, name them. If I've been in a mix and can give you fact, it's done. It's done. These niggas don't pay me shit. I don't see none of them. None of them. They're not in my circle. I'm in the streets. I'm working for the people. I'm trying to make sure the babies don't kill each other. Trying to make sure the women don't get beat. I don't come around these shit. I'm not in the space where these dudes is drinking and smoking and feeling stink ass stripper butt. I'm not in them spaces. No, I'm done. Done. I'm not eating in that shit. Serious. Serious. These dudes is like that. So, you know. A light blue. Yeah, exactly. Stank stripper gripper. And they think it's funny. But when y'all speak that shit, we getting reparations. We tight. We together. Y'all ain't getting shit. I haven't proven unity yet. Any industries like that. Black people the worst when it comes to each other because, again, the soldiers have stopped holding people accountable. People used to get their goddamn knees broke for violating each other. How dare you? Now it's commonplace. It's commonplace. You see dudes that got the audacity to walk a euro through the hood in front of a whole community full of black women. Knowing that he got 3 or 4 children's mothers in the same hood. Imagine that shit. 60s and 70s, they would have died for some shit like that. They got their head knocked off. In a different space now. Until that shit come back around, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. It's gonna get worse and worse. And the industry will be a perfect place to start. I'm telling you, stop paying attention to these bozos. Stop. Stop sharing this shit that's coming across the timeline. Stop. Look at it. That's it. Get rid of it. Discharge it. It's all cap. All of it. All of it. This is where they coming to get money. Right here. Right here. None of y'all downloaded none of these dudes' albums, streams, or nothing. So how they eating? They banking off the attention. That's it. Ain't nothing tangible. Why y'all make them important? Why? Y'all bounce to all that shit. Yeah, you made a song 30 years ago. That shit's still knocking. Yeah, I love that song. No doubt. But fuck that song. And fuck you too. You ain't putting back in my community. Personally. So as long as you on stage and you rapping and rhyming and doing whatever the fuck jig you can do, no doubt, do that, homie. That's it. So when you come up out of that vibration, I'm on your ass. I gotta be. I'm letting motherfuckers slide because he sung a song, because he rapped a rap. Fuck out of here. Salute, salute. I see you, Big Ma. Salute for the green screen. Salute. And yeah, I gotta move. So if y'all ain't got no questions about earlier, needed some clarity on, I'm gonna go do my 1-2. I already wore this damn light out. I think I gotta recharge this shit. You know, let me know so I could get up out of here. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot more of that energy. Definitely. The truth's got to be laid out. Because that's how you get to solutions. Transparency and truth bring about path to solutions. And if you want the culture cleaned up, stop allowing these dudes to suck each other nuts in front of your face as if they're giving you something. They not. They're joyous. They're happy. They're festive and gay because they beating you for your attention and bringing your kids along. Not celebrating wealth. They're celebrating the get over. They're celebrating the fact that ain't nobody pushed their wig back yet for the bullshit that they've been doing. All that black excellence is bullshit. There's a dude in jail right now for each and every one of them dudes. There's a chick that got abused because of each and every one of them dudes. Right now. And because of each and every one of them dudes, they got a euro or two. Graduated with honors somewhere. To repeat the cycle. They increase the wealth of these companies because of them niggas right there. Y'all get them niggas no problem. I dare you. Y'all better straighten up around them dudes. You crazy? That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Telling you, Roach gave it up. White collar punks is extorting these dudes y'all think is gangsters and doing it without showing them a gun or nothing. Extorting them. And they telling y'all we the streets and this and that and all this other. Telling you, so always asking, yo, what up with your bread, son? What's good? Nah, son, that ain't how it work. That ain't how it work. Oh, saying your rent got to be paid, man. You telling me you gotta go through channels to get to a check? Hold on, I'll be right back, son. Let me go knock something down. That's how I used to do it. You knock something down and here, take care of your word, son. Yeah, take care of that. Ain't shit. It's bread. It come back. It used to. After 9/11, that shit changed. Yeah, you know, I can't do my 1-2s no more. I realized that shit early on. But that's how it was. So when they telling you they giving back, they can't give back. When they say they want to do more for the community, but the community don't support them, that's bullshit. They can't give back. I'm telling you, they can't. They can't. They don't even know where they publishing at. You got dudes in Korea right now living it up. Or for big publishing, or for park publishing, or for little other artists publishing too. I think they might have organized confusion because they don't have the money to go after them. You mean, how can you go after somebody if you don't even know your shit is banging? I was in Germany. Now, matter of fact, I wasn't in Germany at this time. I was up top. Maybe had 4 years in on the bed. I opened up the billboard. RZA got a #1 song in Germany. #1 song. Just him. Nobody else on the clan. How much did he eat off of that they didn't know about? #1 song in Germany. #5 song in Denmark. Just him. Wu Gambinos. Wu Latinos. Wu all over the planet. Only under him and that. But your immediate clan, some of the first 9 don't got a check every quarter? That's right and exact? That's in the degrees? Well, if y'all let it happen, y'all let it happen. Who am I? You understand? This is how foul shit. You don't. That's why you don't deserve somebody like me, because I'm going to go out. I'm going to get it. He's stopping you from eating? All right. Let's stop him from breathing. Let's see how funny shit is now. That's how it got to go, or else you're never going to get shit. They insulate themselves with lawyers and all type of shit. You got to be ready to get dirty. You got to be ready to get it in and get your bread. They not. So I fall back. I can't make a lamb into a lion. I can't do it. Can't do it. You don't want to eat? Fuck it. You don't eat. I'm going to eat. I'm going to get mine. I don't depend on that shit. Okay, the energy going to stay the same. Energy going to stay the same, because what I'm not going to do is allow a whole lot of funny style shit that's been going on in the YouTube space, in the social media space to keep going. That's going to stop. Because they just sensationalizing shit for you. And getting a platform, and they getting 100,000 subscribers, and then now they off and running with the bread, and they told you a bunch of half-truths. Nah, that shit ain't happening no more. So again, thank everybody for, hitting that green screen, for sharing, for liking, for being a part of the tribe. Anybody that need anger management, hit me. Excuse me. Anybody going through a domestic violence situation or believe one of their loved ones is going through a domestic violence situation, hit me so we can have an assessment and I can tell you exactly what to look for, what it could be. You understand? Darrell, Javon, much appreciated, King. One of my most gifted and giving supporters. Consistently dropping enough for me to give people free assessments and things like that. Never had an assessment himself, but make sure here, drop that, because somebody might be in dire need. And again, I talk to people every day because people like him consistently hit that green screen heavy. That's his contribution to the world. So when anybody asks him, what do you do? I save lives every day. I'm again, people don't get it. I want you to look at that, Yvonne. When you start seeing public broadcasting stations and public broadcasting TV, and they have these Helena Rubinstein foundations and the Cartier Foundation and this and that, and they donate and they do this and you never see who or what, you one of them individuals because you consistently donate to me. I'm saving dudes' lives. Dudes is calling me from England, stressed out. Dudes is calling me from Jamaica, from Trinity, from all over. I can't do it, but I really need to hear something. I can take that time out of my day. You just saved a life. And then when they get on their feet, they in return do it to somebody else, and the cycle continues. So that's not no small thing. That's major. That's major. That's how we grow each other. You dig? You can't expect the Euro ain't doing it. You're not doing it. Salute to you, Holiday. Salute. Much appreciated. So, let me go do my thing. I got to get up early in the morning and do some, my shit don't stop. And it's going to be rather wet and rainy. And yeah, yo, I got to stop paying attention to these rappers, athletes, all that. Politicians, too. I'm going to start going in on them, too. Letting y'all know what's what. They full of shit, too. And these fake-ass activists. Every time I come around, they get fucking quiet. Bitches. Straight like that. All right? Salute, peace, and power. Kelly, I see you. Ma, I see you. All my moderators, I see you. T is probably asleep because I ain't seen her in a minute. Comment. But thank you for holding down the chat. Remember, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. We will win. Remain militant. Remain militant. There go Tia. There you go. Remain militant. And the 5th is coming. The 5th is Monday. Welcome home, Dr. Mutulu Shakur. May you be at ease for a while. You dig? Revolutionary salute. Peace. I love y'all.